Hello. In this video, we will also try to understand how to make AI-driven presentations. What is also pretty interesting, at least the process that I'm following right now, is basically uh, using multiple tools to come up with the content that I am interested in when I'm making presentations. Because presentations is a big part of the work that I do. Presentations to convince our bosses about an idea, a proposal, to convince our donors, to even reach out to people or even train people for that matter. So we'll be using two tools. One is basically what we are very comfortable with, Google Studio AI. And then finally, we will be using another tool called Gamma. It's a presentation generation tool. Uh, the problem that I just saw over the past few months is that earlier it had a limitation in terms of the ability you could create a 10 slide presentation for free. And if you wanted to go beyond that, then you had to go for a paid version. Now what I've seen is they have also added a credit system similar to a token system that we have in Google Studio AI. So there are certain workarounds, certain ideas that we can do. So I'll just show you nonetheless. You can use multiple email IDs for the same. So let's try to do something. So what I do normally is I come down to Google Studio AI, and I have come down to Google Studio AI, and what I've written is I need the slide by slide suggested text or content with ideas or visuals of a 10 slide presentation, because 10 slide is the cap that I know exists in Gamma. Uh, for the title, use of AI for communication. If you want to give more context, you can do absolutely more context. Let's try doing that, in fact. So let me say that I want the same thing for the target audience of college students who are learning to become journalists and researchers. So I'm basically giving contexts. This is something that we are very comfortable with, or we should be very comfortable with towards this end of the training. So once we've done that, we have basically done this. The reason I'm doing this is because the content is being created over here, because you want a presentation which looks pretty, but you want your own content to be there in the presentation. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm using 2.5 Pro. Because it requires a lot of thinking, and let's see what comes out of it at the end of it. So it has a title and a visual idea, and then slide 2 and slide 3 and slide 4. So it is giving me exactly the content for them, for what I want to work with. What I can do is then, once it is done, it's created 9 out of the 10 slides and it has stopped at the 10. Now what I can do is I can just copy the text, and I would jump to Word file, and I'll just click on this and I'll just say text only. You can just do it directly as well. It is easier to work with. And I'll just remove this. The title is Use of AI for Communication. And I'll just remove this. And I would individually go through all of these things. Presenter's name. Let's say I want it to be Rajat Sen Gupta. And course university name I don't have, and I don't have a date. So I'll just remove these two things. And assuming that whatever it has given over here, so it has given me exactly what all is there, you can make tweaks to this. Once you have done that and you know what the content looks like, you can jump to gamma.ai. So gamma.ai is basically this website over here, Gamma AI powered slides. So once you're here, so I am already signed in. I'm signed in with my Gmail account. So I have only 70 credits left. So if you start now, you'll get 400 credits to begin with, and that's the entire life of one email ID. Unlike your Google Studio AI, where when you close the window and you start a new window or a new conversation, the credits get renewed. over here, or even when you are using the build option, the credits get credited or renewed at the end of every day. So basically, in this case, this is a one-time 400 credit that they give. So these are some of the visualizations that I've done in the past. Let's see how to do this. So roughly it'll take 10 credits for creating 10 slides. So I'm going to create new AI, and it says paste in text, create from notes outline. Then there is generate it from one line prompt in a few seconds. So you can actually give a one line prompt and it'll be able to do it. Or you can import a URL or a file or existing docs and presentation, or you can remix it template. This is a beta version. Fill in, customize a structured content template for fast, consistent outputs. So we'll go with this paste in text because this works the best because you're giving a lot of information to it. So I'm basically putting it over here. It also has a card by card option on the right hand side. So now what it is saying that I can either generate from notes or an outline. I can summarize long text and documents, or I can preserve this exact text. This is something that you don't have if you're not a paid user. So let's go with this generate from notes or outline. And then you click on continue. And it's configuring your prompt. You're almost out because I don't have. So I'm saying, okay, that's fine. Let's still go ahead with it. So you had some options over here in terms of what kind of template you're looking for, whether you wanted to add images, whether you don't want it to add images. And now it is creating. So now you can see it is creating the slides, and you can see the slides being created. And you also have the option of including AI generated images. I have even created logos for companies using this. So it also, if you give a context, it can also create logo for companies as well. So it can do a lot of things depending on how well your prompt is and how well you do it. You can do a lot of customization. So while I was looking at it for this training, I realize that this 400 credit cap can be a little messy at times because you are roughly taking around 10 credits is what it is reusing up for every 10, I think. So we had 70 to begin with, and I think it's still showing 70, but I think it'll come down to 60 or something eventually. So roughly 10 credits for 10 slides, and you have a cap in terms of 10 slides. So I thought, why can't we break it? So I just thought about it while doing the previous video, that we can actually, in fact, even create an app for this. If you are somebody who creates a lot of visualizations, a lot of presentations, why don't you use Google Studio AI to create uh, an app which will generate exactly the same thing? So all of these apps that you see are basically prompt driven. So this is also a prompt driven app. So we have the entire thing ready. And if you look at it, I am not going to spend too much time understanding what it is, but you can also make changes to the text and do some tweaks here and there. Film strip, list, view. You can basic blocks. You can include other things, tables and all. You can change the layout a little bit. So you have some tweaking options available over here. You can insert charts, you can do all of these things. And what you can also do is you can edit all cards, or you can edit individual cards, and you can suggest what are the changes that you want. It can make a holistic change instead of going from each one of them individually. You can add notes when you're presenting it, then the notes will be visible to you. Uh, you can also download it. So you can also present directly from here, or you can also download it. So there are also theme options to choose from over here. So let me just change the theme like this. So the entire theme gets changed. And for downloading it, you click on export. And within this, you have three, four options. You can either export a PDF or you can even export a present a PPT file. I normally like this so that I can make some minor tweaks at the end of it, and it is convenient. And once you've done that, it gets downloaded over here. I'll just open it. And you can see that this is exactly how it is. Then there are these made with Gamma at the bottom. It's basically something that you can, I think, remove by going into the master sheet. So I basically can go into I can basically delete this. The problem is it is individually embedded in each one of them. So you have to manually delete it. I'll just stop at 3. You get the drift that this is deletable. So the first 3 don't have it anymore, and then there on it there is. And you can actually edit the text and do everything that you feel like over here as well. So this is one way of going about. But as I was saying earlier, I tried also creating an app around this. I'll just show you the app that I've done. It's a very basic app. I've just given 2 prompts and it looks like it is working fine. Okay, so this is basically how it is. These are all optional. So let me just do the same thing again. So I'll just copy paste just to understand how different it is or whether this is even usable. Uh, where was it? We had it in a Word file, right? Uh, it is. So I'm just copy pasting this again, and I'm just pasting it over here. Let me see if this works. Just picked it up. Now I click on generate presentation. So the prompts that I've given is I had initially written, can you create an app where the user can upload an idea and you can create a presentation with images and content? And then I basically did another tweak. Can you also add a download option and also ask the user to add slide-wise text with content? So these are the 2 prompts that I've given so far. And this is basically the output that I've got. So it is creating only 5 slides. That is something that is funny. I don't know why it is creating only 5 slides because we have content for 10 slides, but it is creating 5 slides. So we'll have to make these tweaks, but let's see what kind of output it actually comes out with. It is interesting to see that. So if you can actually, if you do bulk presentations, or if you want to create a template for your own organization with certain kinds of presentations, you can actually attempt creating an app within your organization that you can share within your peers and you can see how it works. So this is basically what it has created. Let me just download it. I just hope it downloads properly. Yep. It has downloaded in a PDF format. Okay, that is something that is interesting. I would want a PPT format or a Google Slide format. So this is basically what it has created. AI as your co-pilot for journalists and researchers. So it has basically picked up the exact text, but you can see that the images have been squashed, but it's not really that bad. But there's only one template, one thing that it has done, and it has just inserted images on the left-hand side and this on the right-hand side. But you get the drift that even with app, you can create it and you can go ahead with it. So this is basically where all the videos end. So almost everything that you can possibly think of. We've covered in terms of communication and outreach, content creation, to analysis, to understanding how to fine tune it. What I would suggest, at least in real life, the way I use it, I normally don't rely on just one of the um, platforms. So I use multiple platforms. Like even for now, if I have to just edit a text or I want a text to be truncated or changed for different places, I would definitely go to ChatGPT because it is wonderful with text. But for any other analysis, I am increasingly falling in love with Google Studio AI. And it happened to me. I'm confident it must have happened with most of the people who are attending this. ChatGPT was the first AI tool that we were getting used to, some similar to Windows. Windows was the first AI, was the first computer operating system that we got used to. But slowly and steadily, you realize, okay, Apple is also there. Okay, Apple's interfaces it takes a bit of time getting used to when you're migrating from Windows to Apple, but Apple overall is cleaner. So similarly, for all of the different tasks that you have on a regular basis, there are different better options available, and you can actually mix and match different kinds of options as well. Like in the app, you can give an option of you can put up a template of yours, you can upload a template of yours and everything else, and it can actually tweak it accordingly. So this is where it ends. Do let me know how you are using it, because I know for a fact that everybody uses these tools very differently, and you can actually personalize the experience that you get out of all these AI tools, because each one of us is doing different things. Broadly, we are doing all the same thing, but each one of us has our own niches, our own areas of excellence. So the way we use our AI tools would also mirror the kind of work that we do and the kind of work that we excel in. Thanks a lot for your time.